How are you?
I'm good. I'm just morning.
How did you sleep? Uh, I slept super well, but there's 6 more sleeps until South by, and oh my god, beyond South by, the Super Bowl, 6 more sleeps, 5 more sleeps. I know you don't know. So this is why this conversation's taking place. So this is the most important phone conversation that's ever taken place in the history of you. Which is I love you too, right? You know that. Okay. But you know that like I'm not going to risk me, and you have to understand, and you just don't understand why. I'm saying you have to understand why. Okay. Do you think I have a roadmap for you that's benevolent? And what song is the roadmap? And I what? What? No, roadmap is Route 66, which is Interstate 66, which is song number 9. So that's literally the roadmap, and then you have homework, which is, I don't even want to ask how many pages of those 5 books that you were gifted from David that you kind of didn't deserve, but how many pages of those books have you read? How many pages? It's like 50, 100, 300, 1,000. Okay. And 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 I'm just jotting notes on my side of the conversation. Anything you say is not recorded. But on my side, recording it is critical because this will help you too, because you always want to record your side of the conversation. Why? Because that's your Interstate 66. This is why women will tat your face on their right arm. You're the Harry on you're the Harry. You're their Harry. And whether or not they get a Larry tat is entirely up to them to achieve full culmination. I know, and it's supposed to be funny, but it's so real because you don't see that Harry on one arm and Larry on the other arm. Like, who is saving your life? Because what did you say? Thank you. But will you say the whole thing so that way it locks into your brain? Because song 1, okay, so say the whole thing. Who is saving your life? Exactly. Exactly. And who, it's not on the Harry arm, okay? It's on the Larry arm where I'm facilitating that. So what you're doing right there is you're immediately leaving Larry Chang and going to Nicki Minaj. And Nicki, no, hold on. And this is your roadmap that you don't value because you're in danger of not being invited to South by, obviously, right now. Because, well, come on, you have to know with the lack of communication and lack of energy on my part that like it's very much up in the air, and like you haven't taken the notebook pages that you've gotten and saying, hey Larry, thank you. And by the way, like, no thank you gift. Thank you for, don't interrupt. Thank you for this one page, because with this one page, I can run South by virtually. I've never gotten an epiphany that's an epiphany off of your notebook by you rereading those genius notes in your notebook. And I love the fact that you were stressed about having lost your notebook. That is the most important document. That is the most important book, second to the Bible. That is your notebook, which is the next point, bullet pointed of this conversation, which is perfect. Do you remember yesterday when you're talking about the absolute of the incendiary, overly dramatic? Larry, are you saying that if you won't help me, I won't be a Victoria's Secret model? Along those lines, paraphrasing. Do you remember when you said that? It's just probabilities. I already laid it out for you. I literally laid out I-66 for you for the decentralized Victoria's Secret fashion show, because you favorite and unfavorite tweets, but you never searched the fact that Victoria's Secret and decentralized shows, all those external APIs are exactly like the notes that you have on the 3 pieces of paper. So you replace Dungeons and Dragons, you put in Victoria's Secret. Problem: Victoria's Secret canceled their show. Problem: really large fat women ruined Victoria's Secret. Solution: let's put good-looking people back on the runway and let's produce the Victoria's Secret fashion show decentralized. So you just buy Victoria's Secret clothes and then you augment the angel's wings, or that girl Elsa, who I encouraged to do a dragon outfit, super Chinesey, super oriental, super hot. Look her up, Elsa, my friend. I'm like, you should be more Asian than Asian people at the Shanghai Victoria's Secret fashion show. So she literally rocked a dragon. So she was like a Chinese New Year party during the Victoria's Secret fashion show. That's my vision for you. There is no permission that you need to get from P.O. Box 16589. Now, you're welcome. You're welcome. What? So everything that we're doing for Dungeons and Dragons, you can do for Victoria's Secret. Are you going to say thank you? Is that you install yourself as a model for Victoria's Secret by producing their show, where you are both Elsa and Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, she sings blah 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 blah, and then midnight something something on the, and then all the models are walking behind her. So you reprise the Taylor Swift role as you reprise Elsa's dragon outfit, as you reprise executive producer or co-executive producer of the Victoria's Secret fashion show. When you do it, when you do the work, when you don't know the first thing about it, because you haven't read those 3 pages. Remember when I left bed and then I cranked out those 3 pages at 6:50 a.m. and then I did cold plunge. So those 3 pages are exactly what? What are those 3 pages? Yeah, those 3 pages, and I know I'm interrupting you. Those 3 pages are the playbook play for Victoria's Secret. You just replace the word Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, what question are you asking? 2024, yes. But this year, what are we doing? Exactly. You're you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. These are incredibly detailed, but you haven't connected the dots. I'm not treating you like so so what so what you're saying is true, but what also is very true that you don't see is that this is all under a huge amount of time constraint because we're trying to do 65 weeks of work a week before South by. You're repeating. You're repeating. Will we move on? Okay. What do you want to talk about next? Anything. Floor is yours. Okay. By default, the lowest but also most legendary thing you can do, if it is truly your intention to win 2024 South by Southwest by doing a decentralized Victoria's Secret fashion show, is being the air traffic controller for 2023 South by. Air traffic control, where just like when you said, oh, let me try to help you guys sell 200 tickets while not being on the premises on that Thursday or whatever day that was, because you're in Corpus. Because one, it was on communication timeout, blackout. Two, we already were crushing it with Nick and Ryan because we're going to control their venue, Superstition, and you helped with that. You absolutely helped with that. So your upside, Fluffy Panda, is so high that like this is why I'm okay with your horrible tirades and like horrible rants via text that are incredibly hurtful. So what we're gonna do as a result of this conversation, which has been very positive, which is you're gonna write down the positives on your right column for Harry and the positives life-saving thing for Larry. So that's going to help you focus and potentially win you an invitation for South by during my Super Bowl, which is South by, which is the 13th time I've won South by, which judging Harry, where I'm talking about all the South bys from now until time ends, which is yes, life-saving things, and then you're gonna write them out and then you're gonna send them to me as a written homework. Because remember, you're like, oh, won't you just tell me exactly what to do? Yeah. Writing a song is off of your to-do list. And I'm removing that stress from you for you. I'm removing that stress. That is up in the air right now based on your Harry and Larry written work. I am being incredibly straight up. Is that the Harry and Larry thing is at this juncture. Let's worry about that after your Harry and Larry work, which should take you less than an hour, but it could take you as long as like 5 years to do. How did Harry save your life? How did Larry save your life? In comparison columns. Yes. Do you want to, we can move off of this, but I recommend that we not open up old things that, this is why there was that lack of communication, because you did not want to do the PO, the purchase order. That it's P period O period, and then the other fallouts. We can, your probability by continuing versus just doing the simple work of Harry and Larry. That's your homework, and you could have been done by now. Just, it's going to take you less than an hour of focused work, which is song 1. This is song 1, where your brain is currently not high functioning, whereas when I'm with you, your brain works great under guidance. Well, how about right now? Okay. And where are you at with this homework? Because that is what's required. Ready? What you just said sounded like excuses to not do it. This is so clear, which is your trip to South by is completely dependent upon the quality of the follow-up from this phone conversation, along with your Harry Larry to-do item. We can call it homework, we can call it PQRST, preview question read summarize test of South by. That's where we're at. And are you crystal clear now with where I'm at, with what we need? So it's help me help you. And okay, exactly. And then also hurt people where I am not a hurt person. These are just blessings that you kind of don't deserve. And what? I'm saying what? Do you think that outside, oh my God, what? Look, okay, so if you're gonna interrupt, we could have been in this conversation before. And so and so you didn't want to hear what I was gonna say and re-say because you. Where are you as far as progressions of of becoming literally a goat? Like, there were no signs that you were going to be a goat, a greatest of all time. Heather, 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 you're digging yourself deeper into a hole. Just say thank you. Just say thank you. Just say thank you, and then also say, sorry I didn't get you a thank you gift for how thoughtful that past weekend was. I don't know this. Yeah, I didn't know this. I didn't know this. Sweet. Thank you. But, yeah. Hugs. That was an angry hug. That was an angry hug. Yeah, it should be good. And that's the first time I've heard you laugh. Do you miss me?